Hello, Thomas. My name is Jill, and I'm posting a reply to your comments that you made about technology and access to the classroom. Um, I do feel your point about being tied down to the class or to the desk because that is something that I always felt like I was just drudging through, being surrounded by a desk when I first began teaching. I am no longer teaching in the private sector, and I see that anytime as training involved, or I have to make a speech or I have to make uh, interaction with other people, it's just always more difficult and challenging to be tied down to a podium or something like that. As far as being tied down to the iPad, I just see it just the opposite. Although you have to carry the iPad around, they have a lot of different devices and or holders that you can use to show the view of the iPad. And I would also like to know if your district is involved in allowing you made mention that the students already using their devices, which we all know to be true. But if your district has begun the process for doing an assessment to see how effective that would be in the schools. Although I believe in it, and I think it would be a good thing since we're all moving toward that. However, most school districts, or the school districts I am in, or where my daughter attends school, has not adopted this fully. We have schools in the surrounding areas that have adopted it, and some private schools. However, not all of the schools have caught up with the times. So I wonder what the feedback would be on the teachers utilizing technology to cooperate in grading and preparing lessons and showing the lessons to the students, but the students not having the same access. And I do agree also with having best practices, even though we may allow it on some small scale, or some of the instructors using it. You know, how will we keep this, or how will each district propose to, does there need to be a universal standard on how that is done? And so it's going to be interesting to see how this will come about in the upcoming years. And you also mentioned things about like the cloud and paperless and textbooks being done away with. There's still going to be a vast majority of learners and people in the environment, especially textbook people that actually produce the textbooks, or writers who are getting their work published, that may not all agree with the doing away with textbooks. However, I've had both options. I have the option of looking at the textbooks and how less expensive they are when they're on the mobile device, and also the benefit of having that actual object in your hand to touch and feel and turn pages. But I think the cloud will be one of the invaluable items that we have, where you have, instead of using a jump drive where you carry it around, you can lose it, you can have a virus and all of that. As soon as you signed on to that item and you save it to your cloud, so like such as SkyDrive or iCloud or any of the other features, Google Drive, you instantly see it on the next device. So I think it's going to be interesting how we incorporate all of these new technologies in with the digital natives that we are now teaching. Thanks.